If you do this correctly, you are going to create free branding and strengthen the connection between your guest and your vacation rental home. If you do this incorrectly, you're going to drive away potential guests. Today, we're going to talk about how to name your vacation home correctly. I'm Berryman. This is the Vacation Home Pro. We're based here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and these concepts are relevant to vacation homes anywhere in the world. Today, we're going to talk about the house name. We're going to go over 4 different rules and 1 test so that you can judge and pick a name correctly. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, my home already has a name. What if we change the name? Is that going to harm our marketing? It depends. There's not a clear-cut answer. If your house already has a good name and it's very well known and it's working, don't change it. If your house does not have a name or has a bad name, I wouldn't hesitate to change it to make it great and make it an asset for your vacation rental home. All right, the first thing to consider when naming your vacation home, your name must be catchy. It must be memorable. It must make people smile. The Birdie. What a great house name. It makes you think of birds and cartoon characters. That makes people smile. Clam I Am. That's for a beach house just up the road. It evokes Dr. Seuss. That makes people smile. Mucho Dinero. What a great name. Who doesn't like more money? So make sure that your vacation home has a name that is catchy, memorable, and it truly makes people smile. The second rule for naming your house correctly is to make sure that the name has a connection to your particular home. So the perfect 10, that is for a 10-bedroom home, and the name plays off 10 bedrooms and re-emphasizes that concept. Another good name, After Dune Delight. The house is an oceanfront house with a dune. An afternoon delight, but substituted with dune, that makes a connection and emphasizes that it is a beach home. Another great name I saw recently, the Sassy Seagull. What a great name. And inside, they had bird decor and connected it to the beach. So make sure that your name has a connection to the physical properties of the home or the decor or the location. Create that connection. The third rule for naming your house is to keep the name short and easy to pronounce. So a lot of times I'll see people use a Hawaiian word for a beach house in North Carolina as the house name. The problem is the general public does not know how to pronounce the word. They don't know what it means. I recommend having 2 or 3 syllables, something very short, easy to pronounce, easy to read, and easy to remember. The fourth rule when naming your house, keep it clean. Avoid the references to sex and to drugs and to alcohol. And even if those references are unintended, a lot of times people will have something that they think is very cute that is relevant to their lifestyle, but in the vacation rental business, it's a very G-rated audience. It should be pretty basic, but there's a surprising number of names out there that have these references, and I really think that the owners are leaving money on the table, potentially alienating their guests with these references. The final test to make sure that your name is good is to imagine that you're the guest and say the following. We're going to stay at house name again next year. So a good name. We're going to stay at Slow Motion, as in motion ocean, again next year. Versus we're going to stay at Harris again next year. I don't know who Harris is, but there's a house named Harris, and I don't see the connection, and it doesn't sound great. You could say, we're going to stay at the Yankee Bell again next year. What a great name. It's got a good ring to it. Versus, we're going to stay at Work Hard, Relax Harder again next year. It does not necessarily flow. So make sure that your name flows in that sample sentence. I encourage you to get a long list of names. When I'm naming a house for myself, I come up with 30 names over the course of 3 or 4 weeks. and really sit with them and think about them and come up with new variations to see what really works and what really resonates. So take the time to do that. It's a fun group project with you and your wife and any other decision makers that may be involved. And if you get it right, you're going to really give yourself a leg up and an advantage and make the home that much more special for your guest for years to come. Please put your suggestions, your ideas, your questions, names that you love, names that you hate. Please use the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer questions and see what you guys come up with. Thank you very much. I'm Gray Berryman. This is the Vacation Home Pro, today talking about naming vacation homes.